Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone's had a great rest. I've had a decent night at work. Kind of boring. Appreciate you checking in with me this morning. We'll do a pocket check first. We gotta turn on my light. This is without a light, so let's see here. What do we got? I'm gonna plug my battery, raise it up. Let's some angle on this thing. Angle on the dangle. Get the light on and get going. So this made it to my pocket again last night. I'm really loving this knife. Um, Super great action. I mean, you can't ask for better action. Every time I see it drop like that, I'm like, is the pivot loose? So I check it side to side play, and I'm like, no, the pivot's not loose. So that one made the back pocket, and this was in the front pocket all night. Um, Another good knife. I've had people tell me that the action was kind of gritty on these, and I can't feel any grittiness, so I must have got a good one. Um, Not really sure. We lost connection somehow. That is no good. I don't know how that happened. Let me open up YouTube and make sure that we are live. Yeah, it says we're live. All right. Can you see a picture? Do you see my hand? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, I guess we'll keep moving. I'm gonna assume it's working. It says my connection. What's going on with the speed of it? Hmm. Aha, there it goes. Now it picked up. I don't know. Maybe I just had a bad connection there for a minute. It says it dropped a bunch of frames. Keeps It's slowly catching back up now. So hopefully it's getting better. I don't know what else I could turn on or off to make it go any faster. It should be fine. I've got fast internet. There it goes dropping again. Let me make sure I got the quality. Well, I mean, that shouldn't matter. Yep, dropping frames again. Wow, that really sucks. Let me see what's going on here. All right, maybe that was part of the problem. Uh, well, maybe that was part what is going on? Wow, that's weird. Okay, we're back connected. Now we're buffering again. What is going on? I'm going to. Maybe that was what is going on? I'm going to turn off Skype for a minute. Wow, that's weird. Okay, see if that improves the situation. Could be my Wi-Fi. Oh, my Wi-Fi signal looks good. All right, are we back? It says drop frames 0 this time. So maybe we're back. Not completely sure. The Skype link will not work for now because I stopped it to see if that's the. I can do it again I can try again if it continues to work. But it looks like it's going pretty slow here. Let me check one thing that I can think of. Just a second. All right. Do not see what I'm looking for. Shows that I'm dropping tons of frames, so we don't like that. All right. I had to disconnect and reconnect, and we're going to check this out and see if this works. Hopefully, we've got a good stream now. Hello, Dalton. Now can you respond? Hopefully, this continues to work. Anyway, now we're going to go over. I already went over what was in my pockets. Now let's talk about what's in your pockets. Let me know. We're going to move into looking at some knives I took to work last night. It shows 0 dropped frames so far, so. All right, that's one of the ones I wanted to show. Now I'm going to be nervous about the frames. That's another one. I guess I should be. I guess dealing with internet issues is something that live broadcasters have to deal with on a regular basis. I just haven't had to deal with that yet because I've been lucky, I guess. All right, so I got this knife yesterday, and I also got these knives yesterday. Something super cool I learned about this knife last night. So I'm not a giant fan of flipper tabs. I think they ruin the looks on knives. This one doesn't stick out very far when the knife is closed, but when it's open, it's way out there, and it really ruins the look to me. And the aesthetics of this knife are super cool. It's got some awesome milling. Lion Steel did a great job on this knife. It's a collaboration with Spyderco. It's the Spy Maitu. So, something I noticed last night, I was looking around on it and I saw a T6 hole at the bottom of it there on the flipper tab there. And I was like, huh. And I looked closer and you can see a little brake line on the front of it. You see right there, a little brake line. And I was like, no way. They put a removable flipper tab on it. Good morning, Brian. How are you? My stream was messed up. I don't know what happened, but anyway, so it's got a T6 screw on the bottom. So I started turning it and it came out. And I was like, oh no. They did the best to this knife. They made it where you can delete the flipper and make the knife look so much better. I'm not a fan of flippers. I think the knife, the aesthetics and the lines, as long as the knife has another way to open it, I think it detracts with the big thing, pointy object sticking out the side of it. So now that knife looks way better to me. And the set screw type screw it's got sits flush on the back of the little piece that you put on there, and there's a curve. Uh, there's a curve on the bottom side of it. The bottom side of it is curved so that it maintains position and doesn't rotate. It's a locator. It locates it on the flipper so it won't rotate. And then you put the little screw in, and then you add a flipper tab or remove a flipper tab. I'm definitely going to leave the flipper tab off because I think it looks way better. Um, but yeah, so that's something I learned last night while I was at work. This is the knife I got yesterday. Um, And then these are 3 more that I got yesterday. So these are green thorns. They all come with a pivot tool because they use different kinds of pivots. This is the green thorn Pero, P-E-R-O, Pero, Pero. It means something. Pero means something. I should look it up, or one of y'all can tell me. But super cool knife. Um, let's look up the history real quick. Let's pop the browser on. And why is the browser not showing up? Firefox, where you at? You're right there. I see you. Let me open it again and see if it shows up. Yes, there we go. All right, so P-E-R-O knife. Pero Flipper. Here's a picture of it. What's the price of it? That's no good. Shrogarov Pero Sinkovich collab. Let's search that. Let's look at it on here. All right. Let me zoom up a little bit. It says multi-row bearing system, hardened steel washer, titanium backspacer. That is it. I thought we could hear a story, but it's a collaboration between Dmitry Sinkovich and Shirogorov. Um, so yeah, that's the first one I got. It said $1,500, but this is a green thorn version. Um, so it wasn't that. I'm not gonna go into details, but yeah, if you see the name on these bags, green thorn, I'm sure if you were to do a little searching, it's that you would run across them. But if you typed in some of those keywords, you might find them. Here's the second one I got yesterday. It came with its own pivot tool. Oh, did I didn't even show the pivot, or I did, but I didn't really show it. So it's got a weird shaped pivot. It's got a circles in the end of a triangle. So cool little detail. And having a little pivot tool that only goes to that knife is a pretty cool thing. So this one has a different one. It has a pretty close, but this is a Shirogorov Bio, and the milling work on this knife is just immaculate. Um, Milling on both sides. This Bio is just a super cool knife. It is one that I don't mind the flipper tab. It doesn't detract from the look of the knife. It actually kind of fills out that the way they've done the top and the bottom there. It kind of makes it look symmetrical. Um, Beautiful knife, beautiful knife. Um, Great action on it. Just super drop shut. I mean, you just barely walk the blade down. You don't have to shake it at all. The pivot has a nice textured rock kind of look on here. And then on this side, it's got similar but different sized pivot. And this one, let's go back to Firefox here. I'm just gonna set my keyboard up here instead of trying to hide. Oh, you can't see it anyway. Uh, so let's go Shirogorov Bio. There's the price of it. There's some pictures of it. You can see the pivot right there. A little better. You can see the milling, clip screw, the nice rock texture on that, blade centering. So we have that. Let's see. Same blade centering is perfect on this one. Same clip screw. Same milling. There you go. That's the bio, if you haven't seen it. Then the last one, I'm gonna have to look up the name of, because I do not remember it. It's the starts with a P. Uh, Give me just a second here. I missed a call. That's all right. This is the starts with a P, and it's okay. It's the Polachetski. Poluchetki key. Poluchetki. 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 It's got oil on it. They all have a little bit of oil on it. This one has a major amount of oil on it. Rather have too much oil than no oil when knives get shipped to you. So this one, let me move that out of the way so we can see the profile. It's a different kind of shape of a blade, but also a beautiful knife. Poluchetki. Action on it. These bearings on these knives are just so good. They just, I mean, the blade doesn't weigh that much and it just drops. Nice. This one has a different tool. You can see the pivot screw is a little different there. Whoops. And then the pivot on this one, the circles in the corners are not nearly as pronounced. So let's check that one out on Firefox. Once again, Shirogorov Polachetki flipper. There's the price on it. And same good milling work. Same hold on. Same blue spacer and blue everything else. This is not the bronze version, of course. As you can see, well, I can't click on my OBS picture to change it. You see it's very, very similar. Same thing. If you save a little money buying from Green Thorn. Another cool knife. All right, the connection has been pretty good. So let's go back and possibly set up Skype again. Nobody's really in here yet. I need somebody to help me test the Skype calls to see if I can add people live. So that would be cool. Let's see. Let me start Skype here. Apps, Skype. Delete this instant. All right. Got it. Let's meet now. Host a meeting. Let's name it Blade Hulk. Start call. Got it. Camera. Right. Microphone is right. Invite others. Copy link. Here's the link. Hold on. All right. Let's see if Skype by itself just screws up the speed. Then we'll know that was part of the problem. But since we restarted the stream, it seems that it's been working fine. Um, while I'm waiting on someone to call, I will, let's see. I will check. My signal still looks good. Then I had a bag of random knives to go through. Let me see which side I want to start on. This one I want to start on this side. Let me get those out of the way. All right. So here we have some strange ones. I thought since we had these green thorns over here, we would look at some other, quote, Shirogorov knives. These are not, but are, but aren't. So we took apart that button lock yesterday. This is one of their, there's the logo. It's got a thumb disc. It's a big boy folder. Uh, I've got large hands and you can see it fits way across my hand here. So it's a big boy. It's got that cool grind on the blade again, like that button lock had. So the button lock we had and took apart yesterday has that same kind of grind on the blade. Same logo. Then this one is just a big boy. And I got this one and I was like, hey, I don't necessarily like that color. Oh yeah, you can front flip it real easy too. Uh, so let's get a black one. So I bought a black one. Don't know why. Uh, I like big knives. I like that blade grind. It was like 20 or 25 bucks. I said, run it. It's centered perfectly. Man, I can't ever get the camera to look like knives are centered, but I'll figure that out as time goes. Uh, Good beefy work knife. Good user. All right. So then I ran across one of these. I don't know if this was actually next, but this was a wooden one with the flipper tab, and it had the logo, and it had a cool hollow grind. Once again, I need to wipe the oil off of these and take care of these knives every now and then, but they don't get much love. They've never cut, these knives have never cut anything, and they should have cut cardboard boxes. Uh, there's another one. Then I ran across this one. Same kind of style, different, a little bit different blade shape. D2. Another one. These all have that same logo, you noticed. And then I have a red one that has that logo and a D2. And then we got the black carbon fiber one with that logo. and D2. And the action on these is pretty stupid for the price. I mean, these are like 18 or 19 bucks or something. And they've got very good bearings. And I think these knives just lead to being smooth because I don't know, it's just how it is. Uh, they all seem to be very smooth. Then I have in this bag, I have a couple of Sativians that I like. I liked this model right here. I didn't like this model because of this weird hook. Um, I know that's a wave thing for your pocket, but it just, I don't know, looks weird to me. That's a good Amazon knife. But I do like this Sativian. This is one of their models that I like. This is a nice beefy knife. This is the ST-133 on Amazon. If you haven't checked out Sativian or Ethan Grow knives, start out with one of these. I've got two of them. I got them. Uh, but they're very good worker knives. This one has actually had some work and some pocket time. Um, even with all these other knives laying around, this one has still got some pocket time. I try to swap out and carry two different knives every day, but I'm unable to do that a lot. Sometimes because I like the knives that I just got in and I'll carry them like this one has made it. This one's made it in my pocket like 4 or 5 days straight. So it's cutting in on pocket time for other knives. I know y'all probably have something like that. When you get a bunch of knives and you get into the knife community, you start collecting, you get to a point where you're like, uh, man, I don't have time to carry them all. Like, so that becomes some trouble. Uh, the way I get around that, like I said, is I try to carry two different ones every day, and I try to go through bags and actually, bags and cases and whatever, and try to actually touch knives that I haven't touched in a while, just to see how they feel. That's kind of why I wanted to go through this bag because these haven't gotten any love recently, and I do have them all labeled. So that's not fitting too good. All right, I think I need to put that one with the smaller one, like that one over there. I think that's kind of where it was anyway, but we'll see. Yeah, it fits better with that one. All right, so on to the other side. This is my hinderer, and zero tolerance. That's mainly my zero tolerance side. this this is the 0562 titanium. Um, yep. Then you got the 0308. 0308. Another cool knife. I like the weirdness of that cutout. I usually don't like holes in knives, but that one's decent. Then this one's a super old one I got with the tiger stripe blade. It's a 058, 0562. Um, like I said, these knives don't get much time. And this is a weird one. This is a 0606. And yeah, so there's that. Then you get into, let's see, this is a Rexford Design, I think, yeah, Rexford Design 0801. And then we got the 0392. This is a Hinderer design. Um, this is a weird one. This is the This is a Rexford design, 0808. What it says on there. I don't know. Man, what do we have? This is a Hinderer design. This is the 0393. 0393. And this is a newer Eclipse Hinderer, titanium. Super pointy blade. Super odd blade shape. I don't know what was happening with the speed earlier, but seems like we've solved it. Uh, haven't had any dropped frames. I cannot remember exactly what order these were in, but getting pretty close. Oh yeah, that Rexford was over there. It's all right. They'll go back where they go. Now, these little cable bags, if you don't have any, you're wondering about knife storage, these little cable and SD card bags work great. They're like cable organizer bags and such. So that's got those two down. Then we got a whole other side. And on this side, we've got a bunch of weird stuff that I just couldn't put anywhere else. So when I grew up, this is what I thought a pocket knife was. My grandfather carried something close to this pretty much all the time, and they would ask him, if somebody asked him if he had his knife on him, he would say, "Well, I got my pants on, don't I?" So that's the kind of guy he was. You weren't, if you were awake, you had a knife on you because you needed to use one all day long. This is one I found at a garage sale and I bought just because of the nostalgia value and because of the price. It was like 50 cents. And I learned they're worth maybe $80, $90. Uh, this is a cheap K-bar Dozier, I believe is the name of it. It's one of the first Amazon knives I bought. This is my old Swiss Army knife that I had forever. Uh, it is missing the tweezers and the toothpick, which I'm super mad about, but everything else works. The watch doesn't work. It needs a battery. I don't even know if those are worth anything. If I could get I'm sure I could get the tweezers and the toothpick. And this is a weird knife. I think this is Olatan's. And this one has swappable blades. It's got 3 different blade styles. And I could dig out the other blade styles, but they're replaceable blade knives. And oh, this one didn't even tighten. They're surprisingly sturdy. This one is a liner lock. Of course, straight back blade shape on this one. But they're super easy. It's got this little screw, and all you do is unscrew it, and it stops automatically right there, and then it pushes in, and you have to it's spring loaded, so you have to push it in, and then the blade just pulls right out, and you can swap those. Those are on Amazon. If you haven't seen those are super cool for people that like uh what are they called? I can't think. People that hunt a lot, that run tours of hunts and have to skin game a lot, use these knives because you can go through a blade and you can swap one out and get right back without having to sharpen in the field. Then you can take your blades home and sharpen them for the next trip. But you can have multiple ones that you can swap out to keep cutting. So anything you need a sharp knife for a bunch of cutting, um, those are cool to have. Next, we've got a Gonzo, super cool Gonzo model. And I don't know why this one is still in this bag because it should be somewhere else. But let's see if we can see the name here, or the model number. Um, Maybe it says I can read the D2. This light is not helping too much. FH922, F something. It's like a reading test. 922. If you look up Gonzo 922, I guarantee you'll find it. Then next to it is the first knife that I ever lightning anodized. This is a cheap Amazon knife, $45 for a full titanium knife. So I bought a couple of these to practice on. We're going to go over some lightning ano and some videos coming up real soon. So look forward to that. Next is another cool Amazon brand called Shanzhou. And this one's called the Peafowl. And super cool blade shape. They've got a couple of different models of this. This one is the shredded it's a carbon fiber. I just got a beep. What kind of beep was that? Did I get a call? No, I don't think I got a call. Oh, didn't get a call, but I heard a beep. I don't know what that was. Anyway, back to the Shanzhou. Super cool blade shape, super comfortable handle. Uh, Pretty inexpensive, $30-$40 on Amazon. Then I got a few Remettes over here that are not. I've got a lot nicer Remettes. That one was stiff. I don't remember the exact model of this one, but it's a pretty common Remette knife on Amazon. Let's see. What's the name of that one? I used to remember it. I think this is the same knife, maybe. Um, there was a promo code site for Amazon promo codes, and I found some knives on there, and some of these are those knives. This is another cool little Remette that you can get off Amazon. Their G10 is good. Then we get into this Svord, Svord. These are called peasant knives, and they're super cool. They're made in New Zealand, and this is the small version, Svord. As long as you grip that, it's not going to close on you. I mean, it is what it is. Don't trust it with your life, but you can hang this like, as long as it's hanging by there too, it won't open. It takes a little effort to open it and to close it. They got the tolerances released tight, and you can see how this tightens down. And when you fold this around and tuck it in there, it really holds it in place. I mean, it takes a little effort. So that is I don't know if that's the small one or the regular one, but down here is one that I sprayed a little lacquer on and kind of did a little finishing on. I got the wooden one. This is the full size version. And it's got the carbon steel blade, nice patina, New Zealand, Svord. Super cool knife, called a peasant knife. This one fits my hands way better. I would feel real confident with this knife. Super cool, rustic, outdoorsy, primitive type knife. Um, these are really cool if you start making knives. There's not much to this one. You can cut you a couple pieces of wood, get you a piece of metal, and you can make one of these and have you a cool knife. Take camping or whatever you're doing. That goes back in line kind of like with these open L's. These do have a lock system, but it's still kind of a primitive type knife. They stay locked or they'll stay, yeah, their lock will lock them closed or open. So you turn this little thing and it allows that to either block it from lifting up or allow it to lift up. And then once you get it all the way open, you do the same thing and you close that around the back of it. And you can see how that lock works. So that's another one. These are very sharp knives. They make a bunch of different versions of these. the factory that makes these, you can stop by and get really good deals from the factory. It's a cool place that I would like to visit one day, is the Open L factory. But that is the Open L. And then last but not least, in this bag, we got a big boy over here that didn't fit in a slot, and this is a I think it's Kurtzman with the K logo, Kurtzman, and wow, that was terrible. The pivot is too tight, or it just hasn't been used in a while. But it's another big old user knife. Uh, this one is, there's the model number for you if you want to check it out. And I promise, it does open. I have another one of these, and they do open better than it was looking like. So I've evidently got the pivot too tight on this one, or I just wasn't flicking it good or something. But it's another cool, cheap Amazon knife. All right, for just a second, uh, while man, what's going on here? I cannot. Let's see. Sorry, I'm having issues with my browser. All right, YouTube. I don't know how I got signed into my Firefox. That's what it is. Everything was acting weird because it was thinking I was somebody else, or it wasn't the knife stuff. YouTube.com. Let's see. All right. We're gonna
This is the mag blade from Daily Carry Company, and I sort of regret buying this knife. Let's talk
we're
about
gonna watch
price.
this for a second. Just for half a second. We're gonna do
So I just want to
a
start out this
reaction video to
by saying
this.
I know Daily Carry Company put a lot of time,
Enjoy this for
effort,
just
and
a
money
second.
into creating this mag blade. And my intention isn't really to discredit this knife at all. In fact, I think it's an absolutely beautiful knife. But the fact is, I do regret purchasing this knife, and there's a few reasons for that. And it all comes down to functionality and practicality. How functional and practical is the mag blade to use on an everyday basis? Well, for me, basically not at all. In fact, this has been sitting in my display case right behind me since I purchased this knife. I just never use it. But first, let's run down some of the specs here and talk about the price. This is a very highly polished M390 Tanto blade, and by far one of my favorite features of this knife. I think this blade is absolutely beautiful. The handles here are made of grade 5 titanium and have a nice sandblasted look to them. And when I first got this in my hands, it's just a little bit smaller than I first anticipated. It's 6.69 inches overall, about 170 millimeters. And you can see that when I'm holding the knife in my hand, but I can still get 4 full fingers around this handle. And I paid $199 for this, and that's based on the titanium and M390 blade. And that's another reason why I sort of regret buying this, because that's an expensive knife just to sit in a display case back there. And yes, I know that's my choice to put it in a display case, but once again, I just don't like the functionality and practicality of this knife. And here's why. It's because of this butterfly hinge system, which also makes it relatively innovative, coupled with this magnetic locking mechanism right here. So when the knife is open like this, you can see that magnetic locking mechanism right there. When it comes together, it's relatively locked in. But in my opinion, the innovation of the butterfly hinge coupled with this magnetic locking mechanism is its biggest downfall. And just the way these handles are shaped for it to work properly. This side is flat and this side has a little lip. So when it's open, you can see it looks like a handle, but when it's closed, that blade sits perfectly in there. Now let me just get this out of the way. I am in no way an expert at flipping a bally, but I can probably say that I'm better than most that have no experience at flipping. Meaning, yes, I am a wannabe at flipping a bally. I do watch a lot of videos and I practice a lot. So if you ever see cuts on my fingers, that's the reason. But I have the Kershaw Lucha here just to demonstrate what I think Daily Carry Company was trying to achieve with the mag blade here. With the real Balisong, was either a...
All right. I needed a little break for a second and thought I would just share another creator's video. Do a little reaction video. So yeah, that's a couple of weird cases that I've got. We went through some new knives I got yesterday. We talked about knives like this one that have a removable flipper tabs, which are super cool. We looked at the Severn. Super good action. I must have got one of the good ones. Got lucky with it, I guess. There was some grittiness being talked about, and mine feels and sounds perfect. One of the screws was loose. One of these two was loose. Wasn't that loose. Wasn't bad. And one of the clip screws needed to be tightened up a little bit better. But other than that, I've enjoyed it throughout the night. You want to see, and this knife has made it like 5 days in a row. This knife is a great knife for anybody that likes pocket knives. Brian Brown, Mass Cast Precision, Collabo. Beautiful knife. If you have a chance to buy something from either one of those people, please do so. Support your favorite knife makers. And here's a big titanium boy. If you haven't seen that guy, he doesn't really have a clip on him. He's more of a drop in your pocket kind of guy. And don't talk about him. He is a little self-conscious about his height and his stubbiness. But yeah, that's a cool knife, huh? And it is actually very sharp. And I have even thought about putting a good edge on this one just because it would be fun. But I don't know if you can tell how little that actually is, but he's not little. He's a good sized knife. Not gonna make fun of him. I'm gonna enjoy him. But yeah, he is pretty little. As you can see. Knives like this are cool to have, fun to have though. It is a complete frame lock also, not a liner lock. It is an actual frame lock, titanium knife. You can flip it and get it to open. I didn't at that point, but would not trust that lockup very much. I didn't even check that, but he's got about 10% lockup, but that's all he needs. Cool little knife. Thought I'd just set some little things in the corner, random stuff for people to look at in the video when we're showing the map. Only been going 53 minutes this morning. A lot of people seem to join at 9. I know it's a Sunday morning, so there's a lot of people sleeping in, and I don't blame them. But yeah, if you get a chance to stop by in the mornings, we're going to be live every morning at 8 Central Standard Time. Tell your friends, come hang out. We've got the Skype line open at the moment. We were going to test some calls, but guess everybody's sleeping. I had 3 or 4 people in the chat yesterday that I thought might pop in today, but I don't blame them for sleeping in. I'm about to go to sleep myself. I work nights, so this is the end of my night. And that's pretty much the only reason I'm up talking about knives. Thank you again for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I do go live. I'm going to start doing some anodization videos and some customizing videos really, really soon. And it'd be cool if I did some of those on Saturday or Sunday afternoons, that you get the alert to know when I'm going live, so maybe I can help you learn. I wanted to go over one more thing, but we'll talk about that on the next one. Maybe we'll talk about skiff bearings and swapping out skiffs. And this program right here, you might want to look into it. It's a pretty cool little program they got going on. But we'll talk about that tomorrow morning. Give me something else to talk about tomorrow. We'll see you then. I'm out of here. Appreciate y'all. Peace.